Hello, friends, and welcome back to the new episode of r/IDontWorkHereLady, and our first story about one of the most effective ways to be banned from the restaurant permanently. Woman thinks I'm a waiter and demands that I take her order. A little bit of a backstory here. Me and a friend were going out for lunch, and the people that were the waiters always had a white shirt and always seemed to have jeans on. I was wearing a very similar getup of a light gray shirt and some Calvin Klein jeans. Okay, on with the story. Today, I was going to meet up with a friend at a restaurant that I had been to a couple of times and knew the people who ran the place. Me and my friend had just sat down at a table when I realized I had to pee pretty bad. I asked him to order me the deluxe burger combo with a Coke if the waiter came before I came back. He said okay, and I went to the bathroom. After I came out of the bathroom, I started walking toward the table I was seated at. On the way there, I hear a lady's voice go, ahem. I just walked by, thinking she was talking to someone at her table, but I hear a scratching noise of chairs on the ground, and a couple seconds later feel 2 fast taps on my shoulder. I turn around, and this is where it goes down. RL is rude lady, me is me, obviously, HH is her husband, F is my friend. All right, let's get on with the crap show. RL, ahem, mister. Me, turning around, yes. RL, can you take my order? It's getting busy and I'm not sure where my waiter is. Me, well, I'm not your waiter. RL, but obviously you are a waiter. Look at your clothes. Yes, I do look like the other waiters, and I do understand why someone could be mistaken, but not this mistaken. Me, yes, I may look like one of the waiters, but I am not a waiter. I try to walk off, but this woman forcibly tugs on my shirt, violently pulling me back. RL, I want you to take my order. I'm getting hungry and want my food. Me, I already said I'm not your waiter. Now shove off. The RL is visibly angry, yet again tugs my shirt to pull me back, but this time she makes me tumble to the ground. I fall on her and she goes down with me. RL, how dare you push me? I want to speak with your manager. HH, RL, maybe you should calm down. He doesn't look exactly like the other waiters. RL, shut up, HH. I'm trying to take our order. HH, but RL, shut up. At this time, people start to notice what's going on and are watching with intent, including my friend. RL, speaking of, where is that pad thing that all the waiters seem to have? Me, I've already said that I'm not a waiter. She then looks intrudingly at my back pocket and sees the sketchbook that I always carry around with me. I'm an artist, so it's always good to have one, so that whenever an idea pops into my head, I can draw it on the spot. I also carry art materials with me at all times, but those are in my backpack, which I left at the table. She goes and grabs the sketchbook out of my pocket and starts flipping through it. RL, there it is. I'll just do it myself. RL, why aren't there other people's orders in here? And why are there drawings? She says it like it's a bad thing that I have drawings in a sketchbook. It also clearly says sketchbook on the front. Me, give it back. RL, no, I'm going to report you to the manager for not taking orders and drawing in the notebook instead. I'll get you fired. She had a devilish grin on her face and started walking towards the other waiter in the room at the time, but my friend stands up and walks over to the RL. F, give him his sketchbook. It's not yours. It's his. My friend knows how much that sketchbook means to me, and he's one of the only people I know who would do that kind of thing. He takes it out of her hands and gives it to me. F, here. Little did we know another waiter in the room at the time had seen the whole thing and went to get the manager. The manager came back to the room and started talking to RL. Me and my friend take the opportunity to get out of the restaurant while the RL is busy. A couple hours later, the manager contacted me. I know her from high school, we went to the same one, about the RL, and said that she's not welcome in the restaurant anymore. I just now realized I never did get that deluxe burger combo I wanted. Well, I hope you get that burger. And our next story. I don't work there anymore. About 20 years ago, I worked at the big blue box store as a cashier. Signed up for holiday work and hung on for another 7 months. I was always in the top 5 for speed and got the shifts I requested without any fuss. Along comes June, and my then boyfriend, now husband, gets scheduled for knee surgery, and a job promotion is in the works, which would entail moving out of state. I take the first week of July off for our daughter's birthday, my BF surgery, and the 4th. I'm off the schedule with no fanfare for that first week in July, and all is going to plan at home. Middle of July, I put in my 2-week notice so that I'd have a month to get the move going. I spent the rest of July and August finding us a place to live in the new state, making arrangements for a rental truck, purging stuff at home, the usual stuff you do for a move. The beginning of August, I turn in my blue smock. I get a phone call at least once a week for the next month from the store asking where I was, that I was late for my shift. I remind them, politely, that I no longer work there and to remove me from the schedule. The first 2 weeks, I'm told no one turned in my notice or noted me no longer working there, not even HR, and that if I don't come in, I'll lose my job and no longer be able to work for them. They don't seem to understand that I quit. Then it's, oh, so-and-so messed up and put you on. Sorry. We left at the beginning of September. All's good, or so I think. Then my sister calls from back home. She was my emergency contact for work. Guess who they called when it was discovered that my phone was shut off? I called them, long distance charges, so this is costing me money. Kids, this was before cell phones or free long distance. And I once again reminded them that I was no longer employed by them. The HR person who had started after I had left was insisting that she and I met the other day about my schedule and I needed to work it. Impossible, I tell her, because that day I was in XX state driving a U-Haul to YY state, and neither of those states were her state of ZZ. Besides which, I had quit a month before. She apologized and hung up. This went on for another 2 months before she finally told my sister that I was ineligible to work for the Big Blue Box store again because of failing to show up for my shifts the last 4 months. It took the Big Blue Box store 4 months to fire me for not working there. In December, she called my sister and asked if I could pick up some holiday shifts. I quit. You can't quit because you're fired. Time passes. So you want to pick up some shifts? I want to share a more uplifting I Don't Work Here Lady story to end the work week. So this all started a few days ago when I was doing some grocery shopping at Kroger. I'd just gotten off work from the Hyundai dealership where our sales uniforms are dark blue polos, just like Kroger, and I happened to be wearing khakis to work that day too. I've been stopped a few times before at this same Kroger in the same scenario since it's the only grocery store on my way home. As I was walking down the soup aisle, an elderly lady approached me and started asking me where she can find vegan gravy. Usually, I would calmly explain that I did not in fact work there, but because of my background as a former food sales rep and executive chef, including my time as a sous chef at a vegan restaurant, I asked out of curiosity why she wanted vegan gravy. I come to find out she was doing some early Thanksgiving shopping for her new daughter-in-law, who's a vegan, and she wanted to make her feel welcome to the family and wanted to try out some recipes before the big day. She had no idea what it meant and had printed down some of the terrible generic recipes off Facebook. I've seen poorly thought out Facebook recipes destroy their fair amount of good meals, and this led me to walking and talking with her for a while and helping grab a few items she would need to make some really good and easy to make vegan cuisine. I probably spent almost a half hour with her and wrote down a few recipes on the back of my business cards, and we parted ways. To be honest, I wasn't even trying to be helpful, but rather she'd become a victim of me nerding out and rambling about a topic I was passionate about, cooking, not veganism, that I no longer had an outlet for. Driving home, I realized that the whole time she probably thought I was the most helpful Kroger employee ever and had a good laugh about it. So now we fast forward to today. It's colder than a witch's boob outside, and I'm sitting in the showroom of my dealership trying to send out a few emails, and it's slow as crap, when all of a sudden I get a call. Hi, this is XXX from the grocery store. I hope this is the right number, but I'm looking for Eskimo Explosion. Yes, this is him, I reply and start with, hey, I don't actually work at Kroger, and she cut me off and said, I know you wrote me a recipe on the back of your business card, and I had a few questions if you have a quick second. Being bored, I went into detail about making this sauce, and she apologized for bothering me at work. I told her it wasn't a big deal and told her jokingly I'd be happy to do whatever it took so another cook won't mess up one of my good recipes. She laughed and asked what time I got off work. I told her I was working until close, but that I could take calls most of the day since it was slow in case she had any questions. So a few hours roll by and I'm out back smoking a cigarette with the detailers when I hear my name paged on the intercom. Eskimo explosion, you have a guest in the showroom. I wasn't expecting any appointments, but ran up to see what was going on. There she was, the lady from the grocery store with another elderly man who I found out was her husband. What the hell was she doing here? I thought she had maybe decided to bring me some food to see if it tasted right, or maybe had brought me some brownies or other old lady treats for helping out. Here's the best part of the story. She actually had a Tucson and her lease was up in 2 weeks and she wanted to turn it in and lease another one from me instead of our competition down the street where she got it originally. Her husband had pointed out to her that her new chef friend actually sold the same kind of car she was in the market for. I got her in the next model up from what she'd been driving and kept her at the same payment. I thought I'd share this since it really made my day. Thanks so much for sharing this story. It seems you've made a friend for life, even if the two of you never cross paths again. And thank you all for watching this video until the end. We'll see you in the next video.